Here we go. No rain delay for Twins Tuesdays. We are coming at you live from Floyd's in Victoria. And beautiful Minnesota day outside. We moved this operation inside off the fantastic deck and are joining the crowd inside here at Floyd's that, as always, are having a good time. Brandon, you look like you made it through the raindrops okay?
Yeah, not too bad coming from downtown Minneapolis. Made it here in one piece, or at least as many pieces as I started out with, so that's good.
That is good. You know, I have not liked the rain ever since I was a little rusty.
That's pretty good. That's good. I like that. I like that.
It's been a solid, saturating rain for a couple of days. The Twins they haven't called the game. Do you think they'll get a game off tonight?
No. What I had seen was from Pat Borsey, BBWAA president for the Minnesota chapter, that they'd probably more likely to get it in late rather than postponing it. I mean, the issue is Boston's getting out of town tomorrow, and you got to get those games in because the non-divisional opponents only come to town one time a season, so it makes it difficult to get it in. And so, you know, they got to find a way to do that.
And the field can take this? I mean, I guess it's been under a tarp for all this time, but
yeah, I mean, the dirt is the only thing that's an issue, and they've got the tarp over that. As far as the outfield drainage system, it's probably the best in the major leagues. They got that green system where they recycle all that rainwater and use it to wash the seats, and they need all this rain for something, so that's what they're going to use it for.
Well, if you can't make it out at the Twins game, come out here to Floyd's. It's happening here inside, and as always on Twins Tuesdays, they got the specials going. I see the magical buckets of beers have shown up in front of our stage here. Patrick, right in front of you, actually.
Incidentally.
Yeah. Easy.
That isn't a coincidence.
Easy. They got the 250 taps. They got the 350 aluminum pints. And for $13, you get a 5-beer bucket and a plate of Mother Plucker wings. That is the special. We like the Coors special. We like Floyd's for having the Twins Tuesday special. So come out here and get the special. And then we got a mic waiting. We're going to grab some folks here at Floyd's and see what they think of the Twins. Who can't? I mean, there's no hating on the Twins right now, though. I mean, you got to love what's happening. It's a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 8 games over 500. I don't think anybody expected them to be.
Paul Molitor will tell you it's not a surprise. Or Torrey Hunter will say, I told you earlier this season we were going to be this good.
Yeah, or Terry Ryan. You know, they basically said, you know, this is not good enough, but we're pretty happy with where we're at, and that's, you know,
Didn't they have the best May?
I think they still, yeah. I mean, at this point,
and that's not good enough for Terry.
Well, I mean, let's pull it up here. May, they are 16-6 after going 10-12 in April, so quite an improvement. This is their first, 15-16 win May in like 4, 5, 6 years. So quite an improvement. And again, outside of playing Detroit, who's 2-7, they're 2-7 against them. They've been awesome against everybody else. They're at least 500 against every other opponent they've played this season.
I heard on the 96.3 when I was on Rod's show on Sunday, their losing streak since the beginning of the year. They haven't had long losing streaks. You guys were talking about that.
Right, yeah, 2-3 game losing streaks to start the season when they were 1-6, and then they haven't lost more than 2 games in a row since. So, I mean, it's remarkable consistency, especially from a team that's still young in some respects, to take on the identity, whether it's the identity of Torrey Hunter, Paul Molitor, whoever it is, and to go on these runs where they're winning a bunch of games without losing a bunch in the standings is fantastic.
Why'd you kill my mic there, Patrick? What was I saying? Did I upset you? Yeah. Did I look at your beer a little too close or what?
Yeah, it came a little close to the Coors Light. We thought we had to tune you down there for a second.
There's 2 buckets there.
There's 2 buckets.
Settle down.
The thing I'm most impressed about with the Twins is we have a positive run differential through the first part of the season. Is that correct, Brandon?
Yeah, 18. So plus 18 right now, which is, I don't think they've seen the positives for quite some time, and that's including early season samples the last few years. It's just that they stumble out of the gates, and even when you start out good like they did last year, just the positive run differential was just never there, and that's typically a hallmark of a team that is going to sustain success a little more. At the same time, you start losing a couple blowouts or win a couple nail biters, and that can get thrown into flux too. So the one thing you have to emphasize in May is that it's still just May. And even in early June, still just June. You're still only 50, 60, some odd games into the season, and so things can change. Baseball is very temporary, and sometimes I think people they really want to get wrapped up in how good the team has played so far.
I do.
And a lot of people do. And it's just
part of it is because maybe enjoy the moment. Maybe do celebrate now because you might be sad.
Yeah,
in
it could be gone tomorrow. I mean, it so easily could. So hopefully fans aren't getting too upset to where.
Hello, ladies. Some ladies coming in. I'm sorry. Yes, you were saying.
Hopefully fans aren't getting to a point where, if they start losing some games, they jump ship and go back to how awful they were about these last 4 years. Hopefully fans are they're engaged, but understand that this is not a team that's built to win this year necessarily.
And as far as batting goes, there's no real standout slugger. I mean, the top of the lineup does well when the bottom is not doing well, and now it turns out the bottom of the lineup will pick up slack when the leadoff guys aren't doing so good.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Dozier's moved in and out of the leadoff spot. He's batted clean up a little bit too. At one point in the last week, he was the only player in the major leagues to start a game batting leadoff and batting cleanup. So that's some kind of versatility there. He's had a nice season.
What is Molitor up to? He's a crazy genius.
He's a button pusher, and he's doing a really nice job with that. Now, the other guys on the offense that are having nice seasons, I mean, Trevor Plouffe.
In your opinion, does that mess with a guy's head, though? If you're a player going, what's going on with? Am I a leadoff guy or am I a cleanup guy? Where am I going here?
I mean, it depends on the player. I think there's some players that would take to that a little more differently than most. I think it messes more with the young guys like Santana, who bats first or ninth, and so the young guys that don't really have an identity to fall back on. Now, batting first or ninth really isn't that different because it's basically back-to-back still. You just get one fewer plate appearance on average per game.
Yeah.
But
there's a stigma.
Yeah, there's a stigma there. That, you're the ninth. You got to turn the lineup over either with speed or with a walk, and he's obviously a speed guy. But I don't think Dozier has any issue with wherever they want to put him because he can do pretty much any role you put him into.
Speaking of speed, did I see a graphic that showed Hicks making a run for a ball at 24 miles per hour? Did I read that graphic wrong?
It was something like that. Yeah, no,
I didn't think a guy can run 24 miles per hour.
This new StatCast stuff that MLB.com is doing where they can map out route efficiency and that kind of stuff, they have some pretty cool data that they're working with. And yeah, I think he was like 18 or 20, but I mean, still
crazy.
It was one of the fastest we've seen all year and definite top end speed with Hicks.
So Hicks' strength right now isn't at the plate; it's out in the field.
Unquestionably, I mean, he's doing some things with the bat. He's not having the stretches where he's just having non-competitive at bats. He's still not driving the baseball. Only has one double so far through a dozen games, but he's still up there doing things differently, trying to change it up a little bit. And defensively, he takes the cake. I mean, he's making fantastic plays out there, showing great range, and he just looks like a different player out there.
And are we about to have some people come back from injury? What's the latest on that?
Yeah, I think you have Oswaldo Arcia that's due to come back here soon. He's on a rehab.
Wow. And how is that going to fit in? They like his bat, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think what will happen with him is Rosario will go back to AAA. And yeah, exactly. Arcia is down in Rochester right now. They'll get some swings in. I'm trying to think who else they have on their way back.
The pitcher went out just recently.
Yeah, Fiend's out in Rochester, too. That's right. They've had a couple different guys, Dunsing and Tim Stauffer, with intercostal strains. So they've had some injuries. And you also got Jordan Schaefer on the DL with the knee, and he's not close to coming back. His knee is still really bugging him. So when everybody gets healthy, it'll make some tougher decisions. And I think Arcia, they're hoping to get his bat back in the lineup. The defense, yeah, less so. But they need that bat because the lower half of the lineup right now, I mean, some nights it's on, but you got guys that just don't take enough pitches down there, don't make enough contact, and it's hard to sustain success when the bottom half of your lineup is not as good as it needs to be.
Once again, we're here at Floyd's out in Victoria. No rain delay for the Twins Tuesdays, so we've moved this party inside, and the joint is jumping. We've got the Coors Special going on in the wings and all that, yes?
There wasn't anywhere to park outside. That was a pleasant surprise.
It's Floyd's, man. Everyone loves Floyd's.
Exactly.
What I love about the inside here, it does feel like an up-north bar. I'm an up-north guy. I like to go fishing. And the decor and the vibe is like, my cabin should be like just a couple of blocks away. But, of course, we're in Victoria.
Yeah, no, exactly. I feel like I'm back home again, too, up in Roseville, Minnesota, hanging out with the locals. So it's a pretty cool vibe.
And there is talking about the game tonight. It sounds like they're going to do everything possible to get it off. Probably delayed. We play the Red Sox though, right?
Yeah, second of 3 against the Red Sox.
And they play again tomorrow at noon.
Yeah, early one tomorrow, and then they welcome Toronto into town, and then they hit the road to Boston. So they knock Boston out of their schedule right away. They get the 6 games or 7 games out of the way pretty quickly.
Boston is having a disappointing early season.
Yeah, it's a team that pumped a lot of money, a lot of movement into their roster. They're only 2.5 games out because the East is kind of topsy-turvy right now. Tampa Bay's on the top and Toronto's on the bottom, but they're all separated by 3.5 games. So it's just a mash of teams just basically beating up on each other. There's no standout competitor. But Boston spent money on Hanley Ramirez, who looks at best disinterested in left field, and then you got Pablo Sandoval, who looks like me, which is saying something. But he's a fantastic player. But they put a lot of money into him. Joe Kelly, they went and traded for, that got just blown up by the Twins yesterday. Alan Craig was supposed to be a player for them, corner outfielder, first base guy. Sent to the minors. He's making like 20.
You're not counting them out, or are you saying...
I'm not counting them out. They just spent a lot of money, and they've already fired the pitching coach. They hired... Here's a name you might remember, Carl Willis, who was a reliever for the Twins in the early 90s. Actually, I know he was close to the previous host of this program, so I hate to bring that up, but the big train Carl Willis was a former Twins reliever in the early 90s. He's the new pitching coach for Boston, and they're trying to turn things around there. But problem is, if you got a rotation full of number 3 and number 4 starters, but you're expecting to go to the playoffs, that's a risky proposition, especially in the AL East. So it's a team that spent a lot of money, but they're just not seeing the results they're looking for.
So here's an etiquette question. I'm going to the game tomorrow.
Goody.
With a guy who has lived in Minnesota now for about 20 years. He spent his high school years in Boston, so he says he's going to wear his Boston jersey tomorrow. And I'm like, dude, you're a Minnesotan. Knock it off.
As long as he's not wearing a Boston hat and a Twins jersey. I mean, Minnesota's not that kind of place that's going to pummel you, chase you out of the stadium, boo you, throw beer on you.
But I have to sit next to this knucklehead now because he bought the tickets.
I mean, maybe you'll look better by association. I don't know. I mean,
Twins better win tomorrow. That's all I can say.
Well, exactly. I mean, you got Phil Hughes going. That's a good proposition. I mean, he's struggled a little bit this year, but that's probably the best thing you got going for you is he's going up against Rick Porcello tomorrow. So. That's an early one. I'll be there, too. Hopefully they're not playing 2. That's all I got to say.
Do you have a jersey, Rusty, to wear to the game, or what are you going to wear?
I do. I have a jersey, but unfortunately, at this moment in my career, it might be a tad snug. So I'm not going to do that tomorrow. But by July, I will be wearing that jersey.
What does it say, like Dan Gladden on the back, or what?
No, it says Gatenby.
Oh,
he's
very
got
nice.
A personalized one. Rusty, you got to bring your bike out here to Floyd's. The bike path right behind us.
Oh, I've done that many times.
Yeah, he biked to 96.3 on Sunday with his father-in-law, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice. Were you on with Brandon on Sunday?
Yes, yeah, on Rod Simon's show at the Twins Talk. Yeah, I hopped on my bike, and it was 16 miles one way, and then it started to drizzle. Not as quite as hard as it's raining now, but sure enough, by the time we got to Minnetonka, we had the classy butt stripe on the mud wet butt stripe up our back.
What, do you just hop on the trail there, the Dakota Trail right there?
The trail takes you right to the stadium. Goes right under the stadium.
And the station is next to the stadium.
Yeah, so it was perfect. It was like, bam.
Incidentally, I didn't get to ask you how the ride back was.
It got wet.
Oh, man.
We stopped at the Hopkins Depot there off the bike trail, and we had the stripe of wet, cold mud up our butt. More people showing up here to Floyd's in Victoria. Is it ladies' night? A lot of ladies coming in. Maybe they've heard Patrick.
They heard you were coming.
They heard Wyatt's here, so they're ready to go. Here he is. Here he is, ladies.
You're single, right, Patrick?
Oh, you know it. I got enough problems.
99 problems, man.
Here comes your gal right here. She's got 2 drinks. She's got a beer for you, Patrick.
Maybe.
Exactly.
Are you buying us drinks? Are you buying us drinks?
Looks like you guys got quite a bit.
Can I ask you a question?
We're equipped.
I don't know much about the Twins.
Can we hear our mic here? You don't know much about the Twins?
I mean baseball.
Can you turn up our guest's mic?
It is.
What's that?
Baseball. It's all good.
It's baseball. It's all good. All right. We can't hear you, but you look like you've got plenty of drinks going. No, I do. I did want to hear you.
It is.
Is Torrey Hunter coming back? Yeah, he's doing great.
Hey, then I did know something.
See, she knew something. Yeah.
Yeah, she knew her twins. She knew her Torii Hunter.
We couldn't get her on, but you know what? She knew what she was talking about.
Yeah, well, Torii Hunter's actually doing quite well.
Yeah, I mean, he's been impressive, not just a leader, but he's been playing very well, too. And I think that they didn't just sign him to be a rah-rah guy. They needed him to basically do, what he wanted to do, what they needed him to do on the field. They signed him to be a player for him, and he's been able to do that.
More ladies arriving. Are we sure it's not Twins Tuesday Ladies Night?
It's a dual
What's
thing
going on here at Floyd's? Guys, if you're listening,
come on down.
Come on out to Twins Tuesday. Yeah, it's nice to see Torii doing so well. All right, so do you think at this point are we going to be headed to is this a playoff team? What's your vibe? I know you're saying it's so early, you don't even want to go there.
No, for me it's not yet. I mean, it doesn't have. There's just too much room for regression, I think. And you look at it's a team that's last in strikeouts, both for the starters and the bullpen. The offense still isn't really a high-end offense. They're just getting kind of lucky at the right time. And I think you can take on the identity of your leadership, but you can take on the identity of your manager. But at the same time, over the 162-game season, it kind of all washes out. I just don't see this team as the class of the AL Central, or even in that conversation. You're probably still probably the number 5 team in the division, talent-wise.
Even when we get Santana back.
I mean, Santana's a nice pitcher. He's not an ace or anything, but he's a nice pitcher. I think you could probably if you could finish.
I thought he was our savior.
Well, he should be. I mean, the rotation has been okay. Everybody wants to go above and beyond that and say, it's been a great rotation, but Pelfrey's been okay, and Gibson's been fine. But these are guys that aren't striking anybody out. They're ground ball guys. That kind of run of success can't continue forever. If history has taught us anything, recent history has taught us anything, and I just, Hughes will get better. May has been fantastic, I think.
Hughes always starts pretty slow, doesn't he, Brandon?
Well, he did last year. I don't know. There were some years he started slow and never got going. Now, as a Twin, you kind of have seen him start slow last year, and hopefully he can dig himself out of that. But he's basically doing the same thing he did last year, that is, pound the strike zone. So he is who he is, and however it plays out, whether teams batter him or let him strike them out by throwing tons of strikes, that's just who he is. So I think I'm not a big believer in the rotation right now. I think the bullpen is okay, but they're running Blaine Boyer and Aaron Thompson into the ground. They'll bring the kids up when those guys fall off if they start running on fumes, but I don't see a playoff team right now, and I know people want to hear the opposite, but I don't feel strong.
Boo.
Exactly.
Yeah, Debbie Downer over here.
Exactly.
Brandon's mic is the one you need to turn down.
Yeah, no kidding.
Turn it down the guest mic. Turn down Brandon.
How's Tonkin's year been in the bullpen?
He's okay. I mean, he throws 95. He's got good run on his two-seam fastball, but sometimes he falls a little bit in love with that, and guys up here can hit 95-mile-an-hour fastballs. So he's got to establish that slider. So, and also, fast in can be fast out, if you know what I mean, velocity-wise. If you're pumping gas and guys turn it around, you can give up long home runs. So he's been adequate. He's a guy that should be looking to keep up here long-term. But as guys start coming back and they start thinking about sending people out, he might be first on the list because Presley's a little more lengthened out. He's the kind of guy that can give you 2 or 3 innings, whereas Tonkin is more of a 1-inning, late-in-the-game closer type that they just might not have room for right now.
Nolasco, is that how you say his name? Nabisco?
Yeah. Somebody told me they were calling him Rocky Nabisco, which is kind of funny.
Fiasco, I like. Or no Lasco.
But he just got his 100th win. I mean, that's an achievement, right?
What, his 3rd as a Twin?
Well,
just kidding.
He has been better of late, though. I mean, when you look at it, coming back since his first, basically his debacle of a first start with the Twins against the Tigers to get the season going. Let's see, 3.77 ERA in the last 5 starts, 25 strikeouts, 6 walks. I mean, he's really, he's picked it up, and I got to give him credit. He's brought his ERA from 18 to 5.12, still
wow.
over 5, so it's still not something you're gonna, write letters about. But he's improved. He's right now the guy the Twins thought they were getting. The Twins are 5-0 in those starts. He's 5-0 in those starts. What are you going to do?
Yeah, we don't need him to be, a Kurt Schilling, Randy Johnson.
He's even less of an ace than Irvin Santana is.
Yeah, he's just an innings eater. He can give you a quality start, give you a chance to win the ball game, right, Brandon? That's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps you in the game. He eats innings, and that's the ticket.
Exactly. Rusty's mingling with the fans.
The local
We're
folk.
getting the questions. Do we have an update? Twins game still on? We think it's going to be.
Yeah, I haven't heard.
Delayed.
I haven't heard otherwise.
Yeah. Are you a Twins guy? Here, have a seat a second. What's your name, sir? Talking to this microphone here. Randy is billing up to the microphone.
Maybe you can get some questions or something.
You're a Twins guy?
Yep.
Talk a little closer to the microphone. What do you think of our team this year?
I think they're great. And
Now, did you know they were going to be at this point in May? Were you a firm believer, or are you surprised?
I'm surprised because they pretty much got the same people back. I actually think it's a lot of the coaching. So, new pitching coach.
We're liking Paul Molitor.
Oh yeah.
Not a Gardy guy.
Well, I loved Gardy, but I think it just got too stale, and I think the pitching coach is a big deal. I think,
He's making some chicken salad out of his.
Yeah. And look how these guys are doing better this year than they were last year. So.
Did you play baseball when you were growing up?
Oh yeah.
Where'd you play?
I was a pitcher. I played for Chaska High School, and I played a lot of amateur ball for years.
You played with the Chaska Cubs or the Victoria Vics?
What?
Who'd you play for in town ball?
Chaska clubs?
I got drafted by Chaska every year because I was a pitcher. So yeah.
Nice. Throw that nasty two-seam fastball or what?
No, I was a side armor.
Oh.
My curveball was the big thing. So.
Did you have major league aspirations when you were growing up?
I wasn't fast enough.
Yeah.
If I'd have been in the weight room like they do now, maybe I could have. But
you still look fit, ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and town ball's a big deal out here in Victoria.
Oh,
yeah, they got a great team out here. Nice stadiums right up the street from here. Beautiful.
The problem is no one from Victoria is on the team, so that's
a bunch of ringers.
When we played, it was all Victoria people, and now things changed. I mean, it's like Carver's the same deal, and Chinhassan.
You're not in the men's league right now?
I still play softball.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. How are you hitting in the softball league?
I just play fall league. Last fall I was 20 for 22 for the.
Wow.
That was all right. What? Probably the best I ever played in my life.
So, do you have any Twins question you can come up with off the top of your head? Maybe that you're wanting to get answered.
You got a Twins?
Anything you're wondering about?
We'll give you a free beer. You like Coors Light? Say yes.
Oh yeah.
Who doesn't?
Good. Well, not yours.
No, it's not mine. I just opened it for the gentleman.
I'm just wondering how do you think they'll fare when they start playing the better teams? I mean, like Detroit, they haven't done very well, but when they get to the Yankees and teams like that.
Yeah, I mean it's something you got to consider because they've played a tough schedule, but at the same time they found some teams at a good time, opportune time. Boston right now, usually a tough team, is struggling, and they've gotten them at the right time. I don't sense this is a Twins team that can stick with the better teams in the American League. But
Brandon's not a believer. He's expecting an iceberg day.
But I do have this caveat: the American League is completely bonkers. There's no standout team. The American League East, for instance, is separated by like 3.5 games top to bottom. The West is led by like the Astros. So nobody expected the Astros to be there at the end of the year, and they're here right now, or at the beginning of the year rather. So at this point, you just throw your hands up, and literally anything could happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun to see how they bring the kids up and assimilate them into the lineup as it goes along. I think the best that fans can hope for is competitive baseball in July and August and into September. They've folded the last 4 years in August and September. If you can bring the kids up and play 500 baseball for the entire season, you're going to get fans really excited.
Yeah.
That's all we want around here. We just want a team that's not in the cellar.
Yeah.
Maybe win some games, lose some. We're not trying to win the World Series this year, but
sure we are.
Have games mean something in August and September instead of...
Right. It's sad to watch Target Field just empty in September, too.
Exactly.
Brand new stadium.
Exactly.
Minnesota sports is turning around, man. We got the number one pick with the Wolves. We got the Twins headed to the World Series. It's all good. Adrian Peterson's going to take us to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
We're all good.
He's super excited to be a Viking still, it sounds like.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Patrick swears he did not breathe on your beer, but you get a free Coors Light for your question, all right?
Thank you.
Nice chatting with you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, it was good to get a nice little...
That guy looks like a pitcher, too, doesn't he?
Exactly. It was good to get a listener question. If anybody's listening wants to get in on it, they could either tweet us with the hashtag Twins Tuesday, or if they're in in person here,
In
come on up.
Floyd's.
Just let us know you want to chit-chat, and we would gladly have you on.
Where
Yeah.
it's not officially ladies' night here at Floyd's, but boy, a lot of ladies been showing up.
It's going to be eventually. But just to let everyone know, too, we got our new Twins Tuesday Facebook page going. Just look for Twins Tuesday show on Facebook, and you can ask Brandon or Rusty some questions. You can hear about our specials. Just kind of support Floyd's and check it out. It's a fun deal. So we're just going to do some contests with some pictures and jerseys and stuff. So fun deal. Also, check us out at twinstuesday.com. A new website. We're going to have some postings up there by Brandon and some other people. Just kind of have a little fun interaction with the fans here. We're all about the fans here at Floyd's.
And again, even though the rain's coming down, it's lovely inside here. Normally we're out on the patio, which is also quite fantastic, but nice inside here at Floyd's in Victoria. Are we taking a break here at some point?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, Rusty.
All right.
We'll go to break here.
I will trust your leadership, and we're going to be back. When we come back, Brandon, what do you want to chat about when we get back? You got specific bullets? Baseball. Okay, good.
Let's do that.
You don't want to...
Foodie can sometimes come across as a tickle pretentious. BT and Lydia are here to demystify the term and reclaim it for the sake of good food. Their weekly podcast brings in fellow foodies and culture creators from the Twin Cities to talk about all things food. Find this duo only on the Alive and Social Network.
Take mine. That was the shortest break ever. That was a break.
That was a break. We need some sponsors. Call us up. Email Patrick at Alive and Social.
We got plenty of sponsors. We got Coors, we got Floyd's of Victoria, but yes, we could always use more.
Yeah, we got a couple things in the hoppers here. We just want to get some tickets and stuff to give away. We want to get some golf passes and just some fun coupons and stuff here, too. We just want to make Floyd's, a fun place to come and win free stuff for the fans.
You mean to say fun-er? It's already fun.
Yeah, it's fun. We had fun last week. Inside, I like being on the patio a little bit more. It's nice out there with the nice backdrop and everything.
You keep going backwards on the positivity I'm trying to throw out there. It's nice inside here. It's like being up north.
It is nice
It's
inside.
like a nice up north getaway right here in your backyard out here in Victoria. If you've not been, it's just a hop, skip, and a stone's throw down 5 before Waconia, just outside of Chanhassen.
Just west of the Landscape Arboretum for the U
There
of
you
M.
go. The University of Minnesota's Landscape Arboretum.
Stop and get some Honeycrisp apples.
Is that what you do?
I think you can. I don't know. That's where they come from.
Is that right?
I think so.
You guys haven't been to the Landscape Arboretum?
It's been a while.
It's
Dozens
nice.
of times.
Yeah, it's all remodeled over there. I love it. Just take a little stroll around the Arboretum.
You and your imaginary girlfriend, you do that?
Yeah, thanks, Rusty, for calling me out there.
Oh,
bud.
you just got exposed.
Me and Monte Teo, we like.
What's
to
her
pretend.
name? Where's her Tabitha? What's your imaginary girlfriend's name? Bambi?
Lene.
Yeah.
Lene?
Bambi. It's Bambi. I like deer.
Is she a blonde or a redhead?
Each day it's different. Depends on whatever. Best of both worlds, right? I'm still doing the experiment.
What day do you
We'll find
go
out.
to the Arboretum with your imaginary girlfriend?
I go with my fam, actually. They love it out there. It's a nice deal. They get the summer pass. It's very reasonable.
A lot of weddings out there, I imagine,
Lot
this
of
time of the
weddings,
year.
yeah.
I know in the fall. Hey, they're not sponsoring. Why are we going on about the Arboretum?
Yeah, screw
anyway,
the Arboretum.
it's just Floyd's is just down from the Arboretum. And again, yeah, they got the Coors specials going on. That's our sponsor. They got the $2.50 taps, the $3.50 pints, and the $13 5-beer bucket. And along with that, $13, you get a plate of Mother Plucker wings.
Notice I corrected the typo this week, too.
Yeah.
So,
And/or no,
we're not
they-
separating the
they
two.
come
but-
together.
And ask the bartender for the Twins Tuesday special. It's in their computer. Come out and support us, support Floyd's. And you can only get these specials when we're here at Floyd's.
Sweets. All right, Brandon, let's talk baseball.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to break down was Double-A, which is where pretty much all the top prospects in the Twins farm system reside.
Yeah.
And we talked about that on Sunday after you left, incidentally, I guess.
Oh, you talked about me after I left, did you?
Exactly. Exactly. And so
Nice.
the big thing is going for the team at AA right now. They've got one of the younger teams, but they were basically supposed to be star-studded. It's the guys that all won the Florida State League title for the Fort Myers Miracle last year. And so Doug Minkiewicz, who lost out on the managerial job with the Twins, moved up from Fort Myers to AA to follow these kids, to work with them. it makes you wonder if he's maybe the next manager of the Twins. But at the same time,
Oh, wait, what?
well, if Paul Molitor, who is turning 60 next year, I believe, doesn't want to be a long-term guy, you might be a gatekeeper situation where they want to get Doug Mankiewicz, maybe the next job. I don't know. I'm just saying it's possible.
He wants to be long-term, does he? What's the average age of managers, or what's the average tenure?
Yeah, I mean, it's different with the Twins because their guys all are 10-plus years.
Yeah.
But I would guess the average age of a manager is the early 50s right now. And so if he doesn't want to manage when he's 65, and, he made $30-some-odd million as a major leaguer, he probably doesn't have a lot of need, unless he likes instructing, unless he likes being a leader, and it seems to me he does. But, I don't know that he needs the job. It's just something that he's doing because he enjoys it. And so kind of getting away from the point, though, is that this AA team is basically stacked, and I think they've lost like 3 or 4 games all of May. And it's been guys like Max Kepler, who's on the 40-man roster. Miguel Sano has turned it on. Even Levi Michael, before he got hurt, that was first-round pick a few years ago, having a really nice year. Adam Walker has 11 home runs. I think he leads the league. Byron Buxton
Shouldn't Adam be a guy who takes a lot of walks? I mean, come on.
Exactly. He does, but he also strikes out way too much. But Byron Buxton has 9 triples this month, which is more than a couple different teams in that league. So, I mean, he's off to a really nice start, too.
When is he going to be a Twin? When is he going to join the team?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's probably sometime after the All-Star break, if it's this year at all. And
Why are they waiting?
Well, they don't have a need right now. They're going well. He's still knocking off some of the rust from missing basically all of last year. And same with Sano. Both of those guys, though, have had rough Aprils and then just kind of turned the lights on, flipped the light switch in May. And May has been the month in Chattanooga. I mean, again, Terry Ryan went down there. He saw 7 games. I think they won 6 of them. So, I mean...
Knowing that he was there, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Step up the game, show it off.
And it's not just the offense. The pitching staff's been very good, too. Jose Barrios, everybody's excited about him, having a really nice year. And Nick Burdi's had a really good May after having a terrible April. That's a hard-throwing reliever that he throws like 100.
Wow.
Yeah. Kind of different than what they've been throwing out there the last few years. And I mean, there's other guys, they've got plenty of options where if it gets to a point in this season where they start struggling and need to go to the well, they've got guys down there that can do things for them.
And there was a moment there, wasn't there, where they didn't have a deep farm team, they had issues?
Well, so basically, they had that deep farm system that they tapped into for that first run with the Torrey Hunters and Jock Jones and Doug Mankiewicz and A.J. Pierzynski, and then it kind of evolved from there. Joe Mauer came up, Morneau came up, and they kind of threw all those guys together. And then, there were some lean years. I mean, the first-round picks after Joe Mauer, other than like Denard Span and Matt Garza, were just awful. I mean, they had a really terrible run before Joe Mauer, and a pretty from before Joe Mauer, it was like Michael Kadire, and then like a 4-year span where they had nothing from their first-rounders. So, yeah, I mean, there were some years where it was pretty lean in the farm system, and their graduates just didn't do anything. Yeah. And now they're back to the point where they're one of the top 5 again.
Well, we weren't terrible through that time, too, so we didn't have those high first-round picks. We were always making the playoffs every year.
Exactly, and so they started spending...
middle of the pack.
They started spending those late picks on college pitchers cut from the Brad Radke mold. So you had Kevin Slowey, Nick Blackburn, Scott Baker, and then there's still guys, Alex Wimmers, Kyle Gibson.
Yuck.
And some of those guys, Gibson kind of panned out, but Gibson's the kind of guy who, when he was drafted, the Twins took him like 20-something overall. He would have been a top 5 pick if he'd been healthy. And then he got hurt again, had Tommy John surgery when he was in the farm system, and that's just kind of how it's played out for him. So he's probably one of the best Twins draft picks over that span, and that tells you something about how rough some of those picks were.
Yeah, and he's playing good too. He's got a sub-4 ERA.
He had a good game the other day, right?
Yeah, he's rolling tons of ground balls. I mean, he's starting to strike guys out, and he's going to have to get better at that to be more than just like a number 4, number 5 starter. But again, he's one of the league leaders in ground balls. In ground balls, there's some things we know about ground balls that don't change no matter who the pitcher is. One, they rarely go for extra base hits because you have to roll it over third or first base bag to get an extra base hit on a ground ball. Two, if you've got a good infield defense, you can exploit that. The Twins don't right now, but they have the potential to in the future. Ground ball guys, if they don't have a lot of walks, they limit the base runners. You get a lot of ground ball double plays. Ground ball guys are nice to have if you've got the guys that can pick up the ball behind them. Brian Dozier's a good defender. Trevor Plouffe has turned into a really nice defender, so it's not all bad. But then you can also get ground balled to death a little bit on nights where they're not picking them up, and you can be out of there after 2 innings by giving up 12 singles. So again, that's why most ground ball alone guy types aren't aces unless they strike people out too. Well, he definitely wasn't doing that until this last start, and then this last start, I think he struck out 6. That's the kind of thing he needs to do to take the jump to be who they thought he was going to be.
Well, what is Gibson's strikeout pitch? Because I know he's got that power sinker that he uses.
His slider. Yeah, I mean, his changeup is good. The way it was explained to me by Trevor May was that your changeup mirrors your fastball. So if you throw a really good sinker and then you switch the grip for the changeup comes out of your hand looking like that sinker, which for Gibson has good arm side run. So when he throws it to a right-hander, it's going to back up and push them off the plate. So if he throws a changeup with that same movement, but it's from the same arm slot and it comes in slower, batters can't differentiate that. And so with each pitcher and their changeup, it's their identity. It's what they do with their fastball. And so with Gibson, the changeup can get ground balls too, but if he needs a strikeout, the slider has been his most effective pitch. And I've explained this before, the slider and the sinker do two opposite things. So if you've got a guy looking sinker, especially as a right-handed hitter, and he thinks it's going to back up on him and he's going to swing for the inside corner, and then it breaks away from him, that's where a sinker slider guy can steal some strikeouts, is in sequencing too. If you throw a pitch that a guy's looking for one thing or another and you mess with him and you can locate it, that's huge. Now, Gibson's been a good control guy so far in his career. He needs to keep doing that, though.
How old is he now?
Born in 87, so 28 at some point this year. He's not a kid anymore. That's the other thing. When you draft college pitchers, they're already usually 21, 22 years old. They usually move quickly through the system. You saw that with Matt Garza 7-8 years ago. And what happens is they're 22 already, so they need to be up within a year or two, or else you start having guys debut 25, 26, and they're no longer really prospects as much as they are guys who should be physically mature and ready to go.
Like Alex Meyer.
Well, and then the other issue, and he was one too, he was from Kentucky. Then Gibson had Tommy John surgery, and it cost him like an entire season too. So he's already behind the curve. He's older than Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah, that's
Madison
amazing.
Bumgarner, who's been in the big leagues for like 5 years with the Giants. Super ace, took Clayton Kershaw deep in their pitchers duel last time out. But you think of Bumgarner, and you're like, oh yeah, Kyle Gibson's, he's definitely younger than him. He's got 700 fewer big league innings or whatever, and he's actually older. I mean, Gibson's pretty old for his experience level.
So it was nice to see him have a good game then, just in this.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's progressing. I think he's progressing, and it was obviously, when he first came up in 2013, right on the 4th of July, and the Yankees beat him up. He's been improving. He's been getting a whole lot better as he's gone along. Now, what's his ceiling? What's his peak? I don't think we've seen that yet.
No, definitely not. And that's all we're looking for out of him. Just a number 2 or 3 starter. That's what he's projected to be. We bring in Santana and Nolasco at the top end of the rotation.
Hughes.
Forgot about him. He's kind of an important part, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's got to be here. He's got to be your bell cow because, they obviously gave him that extension at like $15 million a year. When you look at it, when you survey the scene, it's like, wow. They're paying a lot of money to Phil Hughes, Irvin Santana, and Ricky Nolasco. If you pool all that money together, what kind of pitcher can you get? You can get a James Shields.
Yeah.
Probably can't get a Zach Greinke, but it makes you wonder about if you knew what you knew now, would you sign one big ace and then go with the rest of your guys? Would you sign one big position player instead? I mean, that's the funny thing about baseball is you can say, would you have done this if you had known what was going to happen? But at the same time, they got 3 guys that should give you innings, and then a couple guys on the back end that are kind of wild cards.
Hanging out here at Floyd's on a rainy Tuesday. Latest word, though, the Twins may be able to get the game in tonight.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Twitter here, and Mike Berardino's tweeting about Tim Stauffer. He's not tweeting about a delay. So far, so good.
It's got to be delayed. Look at this lady here at Floyd's. She's got her arm full. She's being followed by some fries.
That has
to be. A whole bunch of cocktails happening out here at Floyd's.
What are we drinking here, ladies?
What do you guys got there? You're good to go, huh?
Yes.
Can you talk into that mic and tell us who you are and what you're having? Talk right into there. You're not going to... You're in the witness...
My name is Hope Hubbard. That's my new name.
Okay.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
All right. Those look very nice. What are you drinking? What is that one?
This is like a two gingers, but it's the special.
Oh, nice.
You know, there's
Ask for the girl with the long ponytail.
That's for the girl with the long ponytail. All right.
Gina, the manager.
Okay.
She's our favorite.
I haven't chosen a favorite. I just drink water, but I'll take your word for it.
2 gingers. You got to watch out for those gingers. Besides ask for the girl with the long ponytail, ask for the Twins Tuesdays special out here at Floyd's in Victoria, because that includes the 5-bucket of beer, the 5-beer bucket,
Five
not
buckets
5 buckets.
of beer? Wow.
5 beers in a bucket, $13. Plus, you get a plate of Mother Plucker wings. All right.
That sounds great.
Another break before we wind things up here.
Let's do it, guys.
Let's do it.
With Suhan Unfiltered, sports columnist for the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, Jim Suhan presents in-depth conversations with the best writers and sports personalities in the area. Suhan brings professional journalism flavor without the verbal censoring. Find out what unfiltered really means. Only on the Alive and Social Network. SuhanUnfiltered.com.
What are you drinking tonight, Jason?
The Minnesota Pubcast with Jason and Molly.
I'm drinking a Lickbridge Hop Dish.
It's Pub Talk from a Minnesotan perspective.
I'm always really proud of where I'm from. I'm super proud of Minnesota, and I think Minneapolis is awesome. I think St. Paul is awesome. I think they're a really awesome cultural epicenter.
With great local guests.
So the other voice you hear in the room today is Jerry Fagerberg from the City Pages. Talk about the official Minnesota Tall Boy, which your piece is on the cover of the City Pages today.
It is on the cover, came out today.
Talking movies.
All right, you saw Boyhood. I need to hear what you thought.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Wow.
Sports.
A guy who was undrafted knew what was coming.
And everything else you talk about at the pub.
Let's not pretend like we know what we're talking about.
Well, what do you think I do every show?
The Minnesota Pubcast with Jason McGovern and Molly Burke. Listen at mnpubcast.com or subscribe on iTunes.
We want to just find meaning in life.
Reach for this one.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back online.
Just turn it on, kind of. That took a very PG direction.
Along comes this hit show.
I'm constantly burping on stage.
Hey, you heard about Madonna, right?
Twin Cities hit show with Rusty, Courtney, and Chuck.
Had she fallen to the ground and her eyes rolled into the back of her head, what would you, Tim Mahoney, have done?
I'd have tried to make out with her.
Nice.
Get in line.
The Twin Cities hit show with Rusty, Courtney, and Chuck airs live daily, 9:30 to 10:30 on the Alive and Social Network.
Ever swallowed a bug or choke like Courtney on stage?
Yeah.
I meant to do this. You know, I need to update that Twin Cities Hit Show promo. We have Miss Shannon now. Courtney is taking a break to pursue her musical career, and Miss Shannon Paul is now our female counterpart of the Twin Cities Hit Show, which we've got a deck show happening starting this Thursday down at the Chart House. Just confirmed here during the show, Stevie Ray from Stevie E. Ray's Comedy will be our guest down there in Lakeville at the Chart House on our summer of celebration as we take the Twin Cities Hit Show out onto the patio. Normally here on a Twins Tuesday, we would be out on the patio here at Floyd's. The Minnesota rain, what are we, day 4, day 3 of the rain?
Crazy rain.
Has moved us inside, but it's happening here inside. Folks enjoying a little warmth, a little up north vibe here at the Floyd's in Victoria. And of course, got the Twins Tuesday special. I know those ladies we just had on were talking about their 2 gingers, but if you're a beer guy, the Coors Light are on special, as we've been mentioning, including that 5-beer bucket with Mother Plucker wings.
And Rusty has his Rolling Stones tickets already. He lets us know every week.
That's next Tuesday. Hello. Hello. More people are right. What's that? Talking to you here a second first. Can we, yeah, there you go. Talk again.
Hello.
You were asking what?
How do I win tickets?
How does she win tickets?
Go on the Twins Tuesday Facebook page. Twins Tuesday. Just write a comment. Maybe be like,
I just have to like it?
yeah, do something. Yeah, we're going to
That's
give
it.
away
That's
some
easy.
contests
Well,
and
first,
stuff here, too.
What is your name?
Abby.
Are you a Twins fan?
Of course.
So you would you would go to the game.
Yeah, go Twinkies.
Are they cheering for you? Are you popular here? No.
I don't know. I don't know those guys.
Who's your favorite Twin then? Come on. Come on.
Morneau?
Well, he was a Twin.
He was. Okay. I'm
You
obviously
just like
not that.
you like the whole experience.
I like the stadium. I like being outdoors.
Yes, exactly. In Minnesota, we don't get that opportunity very often.
Exactly.
All right. So, what are you going to do now to win tickets?
Like Twins Tuesdays.
There you go. That's how it is. Good luck with that.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
Say thank you. So there you go. That's that easy. You can win Twins tickets. She was hoping to see Morneau, but how's he doing?
Nobody's seeing Morneau. He's got a concussion again, and he's on the disabled list. So nobody's seeing Justin Morneau right
Wow.
now.
So is that the end?
Well, it might be, but that's it's too soon to know for sure. But it's definitely concerning.
That's too bad.
Yeah, that's really sad.
Way to bring the house down.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. Buzzkill.
Don't blame me. Blame Abby.
She was cute.
She's gone now.
She was kind of cute. Yeah, I hope she likes that
Patrick?
page. I'll be Facebook stalking
You
her
need to
later,
break up
like-
with your imaginary girlfriend and go ask Abby.
But we are going to we're going to announce all our specials on the Facebook page, and we're going to have our tickets and jersey giveaways, and we're going to also announce them on Floyd's too. So just stay tuned to the Facebook page, check it out. It's definitely worth a check out. We got some fun pictures.
Can I get free tickets if I like on that?
No way, you can get free tickets to anything.
Oh. All right, cool.
What do you got, a screening tonight, Rusty? You going somewhere?
I do have a screening tonight. The Rock's disaster movie.
Oh, God.
San Andreas. You're saying that like it looks disgusting?
Well, The Rock, I mean...
You don't like The Rock?
Not a big fan of The Rock.
Oh, my. I think number one, he's one of the nicest guys I've ever had a chance to interview.
Is true.
And number two, he actually, unlike a lot of these stars, when you see him in person, the guy is physically impressive in person. I mean, he was a professional football player, and now he's sculpted. It's like cartoon physique. It's amazing.
I'm a professional wrestling fan, so that's where I got to know who Dwayne The Rock Johnson was, and that's always where he's...
Wasn't it amazing that after, he's a big Hollywood guy, he does that John Cena thing. He goes back to wrestling.
And faced him at WrestleMania like 2 years ago, yeah.
He didn't need to do that. He could have made more money doing a Hollywood movie where the stunt guy goes in and does all the slamming. He actually went back and put his body, I mean, quote unquote, it's fake, but the reality of the physicality...
They get hurt a lot. So,
I mean, these guys get beat up. I thought it was crazy that he agreed to go back in the ring.
Well, and he's never far from there because his cousin is kind of a big ticket for them right now too. So he's very much on their radar to come back and make appearances, and the crowd just goes crazy.
Hulk Hogan supposedly is training for some cameo wrestling event.
Oh man, like the Grandpa Wrestling Federation or something.
That sounds awful.
He's also in negotiations to be in Expendables 4, Stallone's thing.
Oh my gosh.
Has he been in anything good ever?
No.
I mean,
production TV wise,
Three Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain.
Oh no.
Did you screen?
No, his career is crap. The Rock though has done both. Actually, Get Shorty sequel. He was great in that. He actually played a gay guy.
Walking Tall.
Yeah, too cool.
Yeah, Walking Tall was still kind of an action thing, but he's done some drama.
He has some depth.
What was the Mark Wahlberg weightlifting one that was crazy? Where I'm
stumped.
Michael Bay directed it. It just came out a year or two ago. He's done more than just the cartoon action films. So I'm a Rock fan. Patrick.
We actually, this is a good segue because we had discussed on Sunday talking about baseball movies.
Yeah,
I'm not exactly what you would say is well versed on them, but I do have some favorites, and I figure you do too. So that might be a good segue to as we start wrapping up today's show. Put that out on the table.
What's your favorite? What's your list? What's your?
Man. Well, you watch Field of Dreams, and I can't. It meant more to me, like the last scenes and all that. The older I get, you watch it as a 16, 17-year-old kid, you're like, what's the big deal? Then you get to be, mid-late 20s,
right.
Like, whoa, that's
the scene where he plays catch with his dad.
Yeah, his ghost of a dad.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's pretty fantastic. And in some respects, too, maybe not necessarily a parallel, but I enjoyed Moneyball. Yeah, I didn't really.
It was one of my favorites.
I loved Moneyball.
I mean, Billy Bean's relationship with his daughter. Yeah, that's cool.
The whole Jonah Hill character and how that And Brad Pitt's Billy Bean performance.
Very
was
good.
great.
I mean,
and the twins were featured in the movie.
They beat them, yeah. Isn't that how it ended? But the funny thing is, I read the book and I thought, man, there's no way they're going to make this into a good movie.
I know.
And they actually, they skipped a whole bunch. They skipped the draft. The draft was the hugest part, where they had drafted all these misfit toy players. And again, now that we look at it, 10, 12 years later, maybe it didn't turn out as great as they had hoped for. However, it was cool to kind of see behind the curtain to how a team would do this. You're not going to see that these days because teams are so hush-hush about operations.
But haven't those numbers and the way they crunched them and did it, hasn't that become kind of standard operating procedure for most teams now?
Yeah, like on-base percentage being en vogue rather than batting average, and RBIs being context-dependent rather than, we're going to go get a guy that drives in 100 runs. Well, you need to have guys on in front of him for him to drive those runners in. And that was a big... that was a big statistical revolution for fans. I think teams probably knew the stuff, a little bit before that. But I thought, you know what? I watched that movie with plenty of skepticism, and they delivered. I mean, it was really, truly great.
That scene where Brad Pitt comes in the locker room after they lost the game, and he slams the bat into the boombox.
When Jeremy Giambi's dancing on top of the table.
You guys just lost. This is not what you do when you lose.
Exactly. And I really enjoyed the final season, which was a movie about a legendary Iowa baseball program that would win state every year. It had Sean Astin, I think, was in it. But anyway, it chronicled the story of 1989 or something.
Rudy was in it?
Exactly, yeah, the same guy. And they were closing the program because, as you might know, in Iowa, the schools are so small, they have to consolidate everything, and they were having to, it was either close the school or consolidate with somebody else that they didn't like, and so this legendary coach was losing his job and all this stuff. So that was a good one too. Is there any I'm missing that you think of off the top of your head?
Yeah, there's a couple. But first, on a side note, it's a different sport, but did you see Kevin Costner and McFarland this year?
No, I didn't.
True story of a track coach who had been fired from a couple of schools because he was too rough on these players who would have attitudes. And he's like, just like the Billy Bean hitting the boombox, that's not the attitude you have when you've lost. So he gets booted from the Eden Prairies, the big schools, and he ends up in a small country town outside of California with no track team and no sports. And it's a true story, otherwise you wouldn't believe it. And he inspires a team of kids to win state and then sets a record for year after year. And it's one of those movies where you stick around for the end and you see the credits and the photos of the real players involved and the real coach, and it just gives you goosebumps.
That was When the Game Stands Tall. I saw that one 6 months ago, maybe.
Is that one good? I've been avoiding it, thinking it's
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. We saw it at the theater up in, was it Coon Rapids, with the recliners and everything, so it's hard to watch any movie with a recliner where you're just ready to fall asleep. But no, it was good. And again, the stories that you wouldn't believe unless they were true because it would seem too far-fetched, but no, it was great.
So you didn't mention Bull Durham, baseball movie with Kevin Costner.
For the love of the game, too.
I haven't
That's
seen
my
either
favorite.
of those. I'm drastically behind.
You haven't seen Bull Durham?
It's on the list.
I haven't seen it either, actually.
You haven't seen Bull Durham?
Major League's on the list.
Major League?
You haven't seen Major League?
I know.
That is
There's a lot on the
embarrassing.
list. Sugar is on the
Bull
list.
Durham is embarrassing.
I'm embarrassed for that. But Major League, I mean, come on. That's a cult classic.
Just a bit outside.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
The Babe and The Natural are good.
Yeah.
9 Men Out was really good.
Yeah.
I like the ones that are more historically accurate. Have you seen Fear Strikes Out?
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, with Jimmy Pearsall as the player.
Is it Fear Strikes Out with Robert De Niro? Robert De Niro
Maybe
was
not.
in Bang the Drum Slowly, which is also a great old baseball.
Fear Strikes Out is about Jimmy Pearsall.
Anthony
player.
Perkins.
That's
from
right.
Psycho.
And he had. This is a player who had mental issues and would a couple times went up in the stands and beat up fans or chase fans, and I think he overcame that.
Baseball needs more of that.
Yeah.
Actually, golf needs more of that.
Rusty, have you seen The Love of the Game?
Yes.
Oh, what'd you think of that
also
one?
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, also, it's a theme here, Kevin Costner.
And he's kind of struggling to stay relevant in Major League Baseball. It's good.
It's good.
Little
sappy.
Bull Durham is better.
I'm going to see it.
What's the consensus on Little Big League? Obviously, a Minnesota-centric movie. I believe they filmed it during the 1994 strike, and that's pretty much the only way that they had the Metrodome available.
little cheesy, but yeah, all right.
Yeah, I mean that's right my wheelhouse. That's when I was growing up. I was born. I'm a little younger than Brandon, or older than Brandon. I was born in '82, so that's right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I love baseball, playing baseball.
One of the great performances of Tom Hanks is in League of Their Own, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a good one.
Crying? Are you crying? There's no crying in
That's
baseball.
good. That's good. Yeah, and you know what? Here's one that'll fly under the radar, and I will probably take a ton of grief for this.
All right.
I liked Fever Pitch because
Yeah,
it
me
actually adequately
Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, it adequately summed up the romantic side of baseball. I don't mean the dynamic between Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon. I could give a crap less about that. But the highs and lows. And that season, the 2004 Boston Red Sox went down 3-0 on the Yankees, and they had given up just an anticlimactic home run to Aaron Boone the year before when they left Pedro out there too long, and so the manager got canned. I mean, it was just a big deal. And so it for once a movie actually adequately summed up the feeling of baseball and the highs and the lows. It wasn't cheesy. I mean, the love crap, whatever, that was fine. That was cheesy. But the baseball stuff was legit baseball stuff, and they didn't have to candy coat it, and I love that.
One of Jimmy Fallon's best movies. He's only made 3, so one of his best.
Yeah,
one of his top 5.
It really sums up the whole Red Sox Nation thing. That's real. That's how people are. I mean, he had the Red Sox sheets,
all right, Brandon.
bobbleheads.
How are the Red Sox going to do tonight and tomorrow? What are we looking forward to? Who's going to win tonight? Who's going to win tomorrow?
I think they'll split it. I think maybe the Twins will lose tonight and then take it tomorrow and keep their streak of taking series alive. I think
they got to win tomorrow. My goofball buddy's going to be sitting next to me with his Red Sox jersey on.
They haven't lost a series. Let's see here. They dropped 2 of 3 to Detroit 2 weeks ago, but they've been pretty much taking series since the beginning of the season when they dropped 6 of the first 7 games. And like we said on Sunday, no losing streaks longer than 2 games since that first week of the season.
And it's going to be 2 completely weather conditions. Tomorrow's going to be in the 80s, and the sun's going to come out. Tonight it's 58 degrees and raining.
Maybe they'll sneak into 90 and they'll unleash the taps here.
I'll give you guys a call if it gets 90. I'll be here. You might get a call late, but
that's a secret you listeners can't tell anyone, but it's a true secret. Free beer at Floyd's on the first 90-degree day until the kegs run out.
Yep.
But free beer when it turns. It's supposed to be in the 80s tomorrow. So maybe I go from the game and haul ass out here to Floyd's.
All you need is a little variance, the heat to sneak it up to 90, and you're in business.
So if you're a pitcher, do you prefer pitching in weather tonight or weather
tomorrow? Warmth, you stay loose. The guys always have their arms covered when it's 98, 80 some degrees. As long as you keep enough fluids in you and you can keep your hands dry, because when your hands are, your palms are all soaky, soak, the ball can jump out of your hand a little bit. And guys have tricks for that. That's something that's kind of come under fire in the last couple of weeks with the sunscreen or the
that pitcher got ejected here.
Pine tar. A couple guys now, because there was a guy just recently the last couple of days, besides the one last week.
Yeah,
that's come under fire for that. And so, you got your tricks to do that, and I think everybody does it in some form or fashion. But
they're not adjusting their cap every time, in between pitches.
Most
your
of
hat's
them,
fine.
Most of them do the forearms, or they've got tricks. Let me tell you, they've got tricks.
You remember that guy last year with it spread all across his neck?
Michael Pineda for the Yankees.
And how does that work? Do they get monetary fines for that, or just kicked out every game and don't do it again?
I think you can get fined money, but I think the last guy was bagged eight games, which is, I think, it was a reliever too. So it's a lot more different. Once a starter,
does he get paid when he's?
No, I think you lose your salary for that span because you're not a team. You're not on the available active roster. Now, for a reliever, 8 games is a big deal because you could pitch each of those days. With a starter, 8 games, you miss 1 start.
Yeah,
not that big of a deal. 5-game suspension, you reshuffle the rotation, and you don't miss anything. So it's a bigger deal for relievers, and they're probably going to try to find a way to make those suspensions a little stickier for starters here in the future. But I don't know what the plan is, because I think the batters, you've seen some of the batters come out and say, we don't care, because pitchers say that means they're not going to hit you in the head. You can control the ball better. If it's about control and keeping the ball off of guys' domes, basically, there's no downside.
What was nice too with the Letterman, exit last week, they replayed his interview with Phil Niekro after he got caught with that file board in his pocket.
Yeah,
that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Right?
Joe Niekro, yeah. The Twins. I get them confused, you know.
The departed Joe Negro.
Tried to hide it, kick it around.
Yeah, and then he tried to tell everyone, you know, oh, it's for my
What was it?
nails.
Kent Herbeck he tried to step on top of the umpire.
Yeah.
If you watch the video in slow motion, he empties his pockets and the emery board flutters to the ground, and the umpire, and listeners aren't gonna be able to see this, but the umpire is just glued to it. as like the home plate umpire. And then all of a sudden you see big Herbie with his big lumbering left foot just kind of moves his foot over top of it, and there wasn't a chance he was fooling anybody.
He's trying to stick up for his guy.
Well, you got to. It's a team sport, right, Rusty? Right, Brandon? Just like Twins Tuesdays.
And next time we come to you, the Twins will again be playing the Boston Red Sox, but in Fenway Park.
Aha. Well, hopefully, man, every week we've been doing this. It's just been a fun week for the Twins. It's just been a good month.
It's probably because of us, too.
I think it totally is. All right, well, it's not ladies' night, but it sure seems like it. Come on out here to Floyd's. And, again, come out here next Tuesday, and you'll get those deals we're talking about. And then like on the Facebook page.
Yeah, check out the Facebook page. We're going to have tickets and jerseys to give away. We'll do that next week, but stay tuned at Twins Tuesday's Facebook page and also at twinstuesday.com.
Leave us comments and questions, too. We can answer them on the air.
And questions, definitely.
And the Twin Cities Hit Show tomorrow, and we'll see you on the deck at the Chart House on Thursday. All right.
Later.
Go Twins.